Listen to Power Trading Hour to learn how the markets really work and how to think and act like the professionals. Call us at 281-820-8905 to register for our complimentary half-day class. Find out more at HoustonOTA.com and listen to Power Trading Hour, weekdays at 2 p.m. on Business 1110 KTEK.
I just wonder about people that trade in the stock market. I don't get it.
To take our children away from me.
Some people are successful with it.
He called Elite Rehab
Name me one.
because I couldn't make the call.
Isn't Warren Buffett? What does he do?
I was given skills to manage my sadness and my anger. And
then I have no idea.
3.5 years sober. I'm so grateful for all their help. And all it took was making one phone call.
Those stock market traders,
Elite
to me, are kind of
Rehab
like
can
the
help
guys
you start
that
to break your addiction problem and get sober in as little as 7 days. And we'll work with your
professional
insurance
gamblers,
provider
right?
to help
I mean, it's
cover
just
the
like, I
costs. Plus, we
I
have
don't get
travel
it.
assistance
I don't
programs
get
to
it
get
either.
you here by plane or train. Make this free call right now to learn
Morning,
more.
Jackie.
800-819-8315. 800-819-8315. 800-819-8315. That's 800-819-8315.
Did you know that the average yearly repair bill for a car 5 years or older is more than $1,200? Having repair coverage for your car just makes sense, but the trick is not to overpay for it. With Toco Warranty, you can get a highly rated vehicle protection plan, usually for less than a tank of gas per month. And now, we're offering a zero down payment program. To get a great car vehicle protection plan at a super low price, call Toco Warranty at 1-800-269-3100. That's 1-800-269-3100. Terms and conditions apply.
The following program does not necessarily represent the views or opinions of the staff, management, or ownership of this station.
It's time to get on the right path with Right Path Real Estate Radio with Tom Perry. Get the answer to your question that's keeping you from taking action and succeeding today. Get ready. The guy that will put your fears behind you is on the air now. Taking calls at 713-785-1817. Toll free 877-881-0271. Now here's your host, Tom Perry.
I'll be right back. I'm just kidding. Welcome to the
scared
show.
me.
Welcome to the show. Right Path Real Estate Radio. I love messing with our producer, Nikki. She does her countdown, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey, I'll be right back. You take it. I'm just kidding. This is Tom Perry. I'm with Right Path Real Estate Radio. We're having a good time in the studio. 713-785-1817 is our phone number. You can catch us on terrestrial radio. Yeah, it's not just a podcast. We're not just on the internet. We're actually on AM 1110 Biz Radio from 9 a.m. to 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. And then we're also for a couple more days on Biz 620 a.m. in Dallas from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. And then we're also on podcasts. You can catch us on iTunes, TuneIn Radio, KTEK, Business1110.com, all of that. We also put it on our Right Path Real Estate page eventually, I believe so. And then most people catch us, I won't say most, a lot of people catch us on Facebook because we can interact. I've got my Facebook computer up and going right now. You can watch me do a radio show, and I always love it when people come up to me and say, hey, I watch your radio show every day. And I always think that that's kind of funny watching a radio show. But that's what we do here. It's a little bit like, TV, it's going to be a thing of the past, I think, in the future, because everybody can do live streaming and all that, and you can watch the shows that you want to watch, learn what you want to learn. So today I'm teaching a teen class as soon as the radio show ends at 10 o'clock. Going to be talking about real estate as a business. And so I thought, since I'm teaching that to the teenagers, might want to talk about that on the radio as well. And so one of the things that Jason and I noticed about real estate education across the country is that what really gets taught is doing the transaction. People teach how to, find a property, either driving for dollars or doing marketing, things like that. And they also teach, how to negotiate with getting the property under contract, how to evaluate the comps, how to evaluate the rehab. We talk about solving for the right X oftentimes new investors, they're either looking for deals on MLS or they're looking for deals from wholesalers, which you can find deals there. You just have to know what you're looking for, and you have to be able to know that as the market shifts, what is a deal, and what's a deal for a buy and hold investor, and how is that different from a flip investor. What are the true cost of doing business. So one of the things in business is you have to account for all of your costs. That's one of the mistakes that we see lots and lots of business owners make. In fact, I tell the story oftentimes in our training class that if I were to start a restaurant business, and let's say that I were a chef that just graduated from culinary school, and I'm going to assume, I don't know, I haven't fact checked this, so y'all can do it, but let's assume that a chef straight out of culinary school, that wants to open their own restaurant. Let's say that in order to hire a good, head chef, the master chef, whatever that person's title is, that the going rate for that quality of person to run a restaurant, chef department is $80,000. And then if I want to start my own business and be that chef, then I have to pay myself that salary if I'm going to be true to the business. Because if I'm not doing that, then I'm going to break down my business model, because let's say that I'm making $100,000 a year being the chef plus my profits on the business. Then if I'm not intellectually honest about the business, then what I'm really making is $80,000 as a chef, an additional $20,000 owning the business. Now, if that's first year, that may not be a bad return. I can kind of guesstimate what, based on other businesses that I've started and things like that, what the rate of return would be on a restaurant. But, if you removed all your, your rent costs, your food costs, your, wait staff costs, your, bus people, your, all your cost of doing the business, and you could fool yourself if you said, hey, at the end of the year, I made $100,000 and think that you made that money as a restaurant owner. But the reality is that until you replace yourself as the head chef, then you're not really truly accounting for what you're making as the restaurant owner. And so the same thing happens, we see with real estate investors. What they'll do is, and you see it on TV, of course, with all these, flip housing shows, and there's a gazillion of them. And what they show you is, hey, we bought this. In fact, I was watching one just the other day. It was I forget the name of the show, but it was like they bought this house. They said it was the worst house that they've ever seen, and trust me, I've seen much worse houses. They apparently haven't looked at enough houses. So they bought this house for like $85,000. They put $100,000 into the house, so they're all in for $185,000. And they said that the marketplace would support like a $265,000 sales price, so they had a potential profit there of $80,000. And I didn't scream at the TV because I knew the TV isn't listening. But if they could have been listening, I would have been like, y'all are liars. That's the bottom line. Because if you're going to run it like a business, what you have to recognize is there's not $80,000 of potential profit there. There's no way possible that you can make $80,000 of profit out of that deal, because you're not accounting for all of your costs. And until you're accounting for all of your cost of doing business, you don't really have a real business. Now, so what are the costs of a real estate transaction? Well, one of those costs are the closing costs when you bought the house. So they said they bought the house for $85,000, but they gave no accounting whatsoever for the closing costs, for the title insurance, for anything like that, for any kind of realtor commissions, escrow fees, doc prep fees, attorney fees, any of those kind of things. They gave no accounting for that. So let's just assume that the seller covered 100% of those costs. So they really were totally $85,000 out of pocket, not a penny more. So they got it for $85,000. Then they didn't account for any kind of holding costs. So their cost of money on the transaction. Well, but maybe they had enough of their own cash. Well, if you're putting your own cash in the deal, if you're going to be intellectually honest, then, or I should say business honest, you have to account for the cash that you put into that deal. So what's the going rate that you can earn on cash right now? Well, we have private money lenders that we pay, a range between like, let's say 6% on the low side to like 10% on the high side with no points. And so that means that we could easily loan ourselves, if we had $1 million sitting in the bank, we could easily loan ourselves that money for the transaction. Let's say that money's in the deal. Even if we charge the midpoint between those, between 6 and 10, we charge 8%. If we put our own money in the deal, we should charge the deal 8% on the money. And if we're not doing that, because we don't have to use the money in the deal, we could not do a deal and go make 8% on our money. So our money needs to be making money just for that, right? Just for the money itself. But in the TV shows, they don't account for that. They also didn't account for, well, they've got all their utilities on, water and gas, electric, sewer, all those kind of things. They don't account for that. They don't account for the insurance. Anytime you buy a property, you better have it insured from the day that you close on it. Chris Lowe said, I imagine this is how police officers, firefighters, lawyers, and doctors feel watching TV shows. Yes, probably so. That's exactly right. Well, because like cop shows. Although, I've heard a lot of police officers, they say that the cop show is relatively accurate. And I don't know what other firefighters or lawyers. Lawyers probably, if with what's that, Law and Order, that kind of stuff. Yeah,
2 minutes.
They probably laugh and say it's a joke. But so I digress. So back to, and for those of y'all listening to terrestrial radio, what I'm doing is interacting with a comment that was put out on Facebook by Chris. And so if you want to join in that conversation, just go to Right Path Real Estate's Facebook page, which is at facebook.com, and then like our page at Right Path Real Estate, and then click on our video, and we've got an interactive thing, and I'm monitoring that as I'm speaking. So you've got to account for all your costs. So the costs are the transaction costs when you buy it, the holding costs, which are your cost of money, your taxes, your insurance, your utilities. They account for none of that. And then your construction costs, what I've learned from having Fast Track is that a good general contracting company, a good reasonable pace day in and day out, is a crew of 3 guys can complete about $7,500 a week worth of work. Week in and week out, month in and month out, you can count on completing about $30,000 of work
1 minute
per job. So that means that if you're doing a $100,000 job, that should take you about 3 months and a week. Something like that. And so maybe you can squeeze it into 3 months. We've got a $120,000 job that's going on right now on a house that we bought for $185,000, and we've budgeted 4 months for that construction. Now, we may come out ahead of that schedule, but if we don't, we've budgeted the right amount, right? So I'd rather budget 4 months, have it do it in 3.5 months, than budget 3.5 months, have it come out at 4. So when you're doing your budgets, you need to over budget so that you can add additional profit into your pocket. Hey, good morning, Mike. You're listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio. If you want to join in this conversation, or if you want to ask questions about buy, fix, and flip, about wholesaling, about buy and hold, feel free to give me a call. The phone number is 713-785-1817.
Mike's off.
All right, thanks.
Virtuoso Graphics is not your ordinary sign shop. We're your one-stop shop for all your signage and graphics needs. We are located in the Galleria area and have been in business for over 13 years. We offer a wide variety of signage products, including Bandit, aluminum, and ADA compliant signs to 3D letters. Need something printed? We can get that done too. From outdoor banners to business cards and anything in between. Take advantage of our laser engraving services. We can custom engrave on many products available through our catalogs or your own personal items. From large orders to small, we can accommodate your specific needs. We pride ourselves on customer service and work one-on-one with customers to make sure they get a good quality product. Come view our showroom to browse our many samples to get you inspired. Want your business to get noticed? Give us a call at 713-623-4425 or visit our website at virtuoso-graphics.com.
Do you have cracks in your brick, doors that stick, or sheetrock that's coming apart? Then you may have foundation movement. Due to our expansive soils in the Houston area, it's probably not a question of if you have movement, but when. Call Foundation Check for a truly independent, unbiased foundation evaluation. Foundation Check has been in business since 2009 and has completed over 1,400 evaluations. We're not in the business of repairing foundations or selling you unnecessary peer work, but we are in the business of evaluating your foundation. Our product is designed for house flippers, landlords, or even owner-occupied properties. Each of our files is reviewed by a licensed engineer. Remember to check before every repair. Call 346-702-3825. That's 346-702-3825. Or you can reach us online at foundationcheck.com. That's foundationcheck.com.
Did you know that there are over $24 trillion in retirement accounts in the U.S.? Imagine if you could use someone's IRA to fund all of your deals. Well, you can. Quest IRA is based locally here in Houston, Texas. At Quest IRA, we offer retirement accounts that can be used to invest in real estate, promissory notes, private entities, and much more. Many of our clients loan money from their IRAs to fund real estate deals all over the country. We don't sell any investments or give advice. However, we do hold free networking events, weekly educational classes, and free consultations with an IRA specialist. For more information, visit our website at questira.com or call us at 1-855-FUN-IRAs. To tap into the $24 trillion in retirement accounts in the U.S., call Quest IRA at 1-855-FUN-IRAs or go to our website, questira.com.
Time is money in a real estate deal. If your insurance company is slow or non-responsive, you could lose a deal like that. You need a quick turnaround on quotes or binders? The agency for that is Benchmark Insurance Group of Texas. The team at Benchmark understands the investor mindset. They know what you need and when you need it. We're here for you. Are you a rehabber, wholesaler, buy and hold, or flipper? Bundling your properties on a single policy will help save time.
We got
and
30
money.
seconds.
Benchmark has been in business for over 10 years, and we insure over 30,000 properties.
Mr. Perry.
Yeah.
Contact Benchmark
Okay,
about our
just making
exclusive
sure.
investment
You're there.
Sorry.
package. Call us
I'm
and let us
texting
show
Jason
you what
about-
we can do for you at 281-569-4353.
That's all good, no worries.
That's 281-569-4353. Or online at benchmarkbroker.com. That's benchmarkbroker.com. That's 281-569-4353. Or online at benchmarkbroker.com.
This is Business 1110.
All right, Tom, you ready?
I'm ready. Are you ready?
Yes. All right, hot mics
you
in
really
5.
ready?
Stop it. Hot mics in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the show. Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817. We're trying to have a good time. We're talking about running a real estate entity as a business versus just what a lot of real estate education companies teach out there is just the transaction, how to find the deal, how to fund the deal, and then how to move, how to profit. There's a South Park cartoon that we like called the Underpant Gnomes. And so Google it, you might enjoy it. And it's just like, phase 1 is, finding underpants. And then phase 2 is, and phase 3 is profit. So that's the deal. So James Brown is asking the question, good morning, Tom. Is it possible to start wholesaling and marketing for deals on a shoestring budget? Yes, it absolutely is. Here's the thing. In the world of possibilities, everything is possible, right? I mean, is it possible that one day we'll fly? Yes, it's possible, even without an airplane, right? I mean, it's within the world of possibility. Is it hard? Yes, it's really hard. In other words, can you start a restaurant on a shoestring budget? Yes, you can. Is it hard? Yes. Is it likely to fail? Yes. The number one reason why small businesses fail is that it is undercapitalized. So what you're saying is it possible to do an undercapitalized business and have it succeed? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what's that movie with Will Smith where he plays a stockbroker that becomes a multimillionaire? And he worked as an intern for it was like 3 months for free. And he, lived in a public bathroom with his little boy in order to make the whole thing work. I mean, it's based on a true story. Now, is that the route that most stockbrokers go in order to be successful? Absolutely not. I mean, probably for every one success story that we know like that, there's probably hundreds or thousands of people that fail. So I don't want to be, thanks. It's The Pursuit of Happiness. That's the movie. Man, Facebook, I love it. Thanks for listeners. So, it's The Pursuit of Happiness. So if you've seen that movie, man, you can absolutely, what I love about our country is you can start with absolutely nothing and hustle. But you got to have a plan. So here's the thing is, if you've got hustle, that starts, call you DJ. Thanks, man. So if you have hustle, then you have a chance of making it. But if you add hustle, you add plan, and to plan you add, systems and processes, and the more of these things that you put into making it work, the better off that you're going to be. In an ideal world, you would start with capital, and you would start with a pro forma that is a mathematical model, a business plan, a spreadsheet basically that mathematically models accurately a successful business, whatever you're going to start, whether it's a restaurant business. Because when people say, "Hey Tom, can you start doing a real estate business on a shoestring budget?" Yes, you can, and you can also start a restaurant on a shoestring budget. It's not the way that you're probably not going to get to where Tillman Fertitta is, but most people don't get to Tillman Fertitta's level. Look at how many restaurant brands he owns, and it's staggering. I looked it up one time, and because I always thought it was like 2 or 3 brands, and it's like 50 different brands, and not to mention like casinos and all the other stuff that he's got. But so it depends on what level of success you're trying to get to. I guess the question is, could somebody climb Mount Everest on a shoestring budget? No, because you got to get a permit, right? So it costs money for that permit. That's not cheap. And then, I guess you could go up there in a sweater. I don't recommend it. I recommend that you actually have climbing gear and a Sherpa, and so it's not cheap to climb Everest, right? So, what I would compare starting a real estate business to is it's a little bit like climbing Mount Everest. And so can you do it on a shoestring budget? Yeah, it can be done. Is it hard? Yes. And that's the one thing that I have a challenge with in the real estate education business. Actually, there's lots. One of the main things, I should say, because there's probably 10 different, and I haven't actually counted them all. I'd probably need to make a list. But one of the main things that I have a challenge with is real estate educators that make it sound easy to start on a shoestring budget and go from, basically rags to riches. Can it be done? Yes. Is it likely to be done? Because anytime somebody says, can it be done? I can't say that it can't be done because people have done it. So that proves the point that it can be done. But do most people that start succeed? No, they don't. There's a 98% failure rate among people that go through, even people that go through real estate education. And there's quite a few people that do it without real estate education. They do it through the School of Hard Knocks. Now, what I'll say is you're going to pay for your education one way or the other, either through experience or you're going to pay somebody else to. So it's a little bit like you're going to learn how to climb Mount Everest in the act of climbing Mount Everest, but I would recommend that you pay an experienced guide, somebody that's been up to Everest, to the peak of Everest, 30, 40, 50 times. That's who I would want to go with. Now, by the way, I have no desire learning how to or ever climbing Mount Everest. I'm already past the age of 50, and it's not on my bucket list. It never has been. It's never been my desire. I don't like that kind of cold. I don't like the lack of oxygen up there. There's lots of things out of my bucket list, and that's just not one of them. So back to what the costs are of doing business, because I want to make sure that everybody that's listening really understands what the true costs are. And DJ, I agree. You either spend time or you spend your money, and because it's one or the other. And what we have found, a true cost is it's between $4,000 and $5,000 of marketing dollars to get a deal, or it's about 60 hours of time. And people say, well, I went out driving for dollars, in 2 hours, and I got a deal. I'm like, yeah, that's great. A blind squirrel gets a nut every now and then. But that doesn't mean that you can build a business model out of that. I could say by the same token that a NASCAR race car team can change a set of 4 tires in under 30 seconds. But I wouldn't want to build a business model to compete with Discount Tire, because Discount Tire takes about 45 minutes to an hour to change a set of 4 tires. Well, why can't they do it in 30 seconds? And it's because that's not really practical from a business model standpoint. It's the same thing that why does it take longer to do things that are custom than to do things that are, manufactured in bulk, right? And it's the economies of scale. And so you don't really understand what the true costs of doing business are until you scale it. So it's not how much does it cost you to do one. It's the difference. Here's what I mean by doing a business. if I taught you how to bake a cake, and we decide, hey, we're going to put 2 eggs in a cake, and it's a cup of water, and it's a cup of flour, and it's a half a cup of sugar, and I'm just making up my own recipe, right? It's not just the ingredients that matter. I could give you all the ingredients that go into making a cake. However, depending on the order in which you mix things, the order of mixing matters, right? The order in which you do things matters. It's not just the ingredients, but then it's also the temperature at which you bake it. It's the length of time that you keep it in the oven. I mean, you wouldn't want to stick it in a microwave for 20 minutes and have that be the same as 20 minutes in the oven, right? Those aren't the same, even though both are heating devices. So the type of heating device you use, all of those things matter. That's your formula, right? Well, I could teach you how to bake one cake, and you probably wouldn't pay attention to how much the water cost that came out of your kitchen faucet. But if you wanted to start a commercial baking business that bakes 1,000 cakes a day, you're going to care how much your eggs cost, how much your flour cost. If you could save a penny a pound on your flour cost, or if you could save a half a penny per egg, over 1,000 eggs a day, 1,000 cakes a day, which would be 2,000 eggs a day, 6 days a week, let's say 50 weeks out of the year. I mean, think about how much that adds up, and you don't really know what those true costs are until you scale it up. So that means that when you are starting a real estate business, you need to understand what's your acquisition cost, which includes all the costs, not just the purchase price, what your holding costs are, which is the cost of money, the taxes, the insurance, the utilities, the HOA if you've got one, all of those kind of things. It's the length of time that you're going to hold it. Typically what we do is we budget $7,500 a week on the construction side, so it's whatever amount of time is, and we'll normally round up to the nearest higher month. So if it's, let's say, $130,000 rehab, and that's somewhere between 4 and 5 months. We're going to budget 5 and hope to come in, sooner than that. So we're allowing some contingencies in there. The other thing we're going to do is if we think it's $120,000 budget for construction, we may budget $125,000, because you know what? When you get into something that large, you're always going to, find some extra things that aren't, you didn't count for. And then so then the other thing is what's your days on market. So you got to determine the total amount of time that you're going to hold the property. Like we've got this one, we're doing $120,000 rehab on it, and we budgeted 4 months for the rehab, and then we budgeted 90 days to have it on the market. So we'll have it under contract within 3 months of having it on the market, which is pretty tight, but we've had good success in this neighborhood. Average days on market in this neighborhood is less than 30 days, but we went ahead and tripled that to build in some extra margin of error there. And then the last thing that we do is we build in 60 days to close. So we're planning on holding this property for 9 months. Now, if we can get the construction done in 3.5, and then we sell it within a week or 10 days. Last time that we sold a property in this neighborhood, we listed it on a Friday night at 9 o'clock, and we had 7 showings on Saturday, and we had 4 above listing price offers the next day. So we had it under contract within a week, and we had it closed within 21 days. But so when you execute that well, you get rewarded as an investor for executing well. That's what a business owner should reap is a larger reward when they execute well. And then the last thing that you have to account for is what are your closing costs when you sell the property? So it's your taxes, it's the title insurance, again, it's the escrow, doc prep fees, it's your real estate agent fees. But Tom, I'm a real estate agent and I list my own property, so I save that 3%. No, you really don't. You're earning that 3% as a real estate agent. And hopefully you're at 10 at that, because one of the things in business is you want to hire the best talent that you can not afford. You want to actually hire people that are 10s at what they do and pay them well for what they do. You don't want to negotiate people down. That's what I call a lack mentality. So we want to talk about abundance mentality versus lack mentality when you get to the other side of the break. You're listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817, 713-785-1817. Give us a call.
Mike's off.
All right, thanks. Hey, Stacy, if you're listening right now, I think that Jason sent me a text yesterday, but I got tied up late yesterday. I'm going to give you a call after the show if you've got just a minute. Something about realtors and that kind of stuff, so I'll talk to you about that as soon as the radio show ends.
Have you ever experienced the pain of trying to get MLS comps for your hot lead? If you've lost deals waiting for MLS comps, you can understand the frustration. How much would it help you if you no longer had to wait for a real estate agent to get you the info you need to close a deal? Propelio is a brokerage website that gives you instant 24/7 access to high-equity lead lists and comps with access to a network of the top real estate agents. Get an edge on everyone else. Get a free 7-day trial today by going to getmlscomps.com now. That's getmlscomps.com.
Are small returns getting in the way of your retirement plans? Why settle for mediocre results? There's a better place to invest. The experts agree, single-family real estate is one of the best investments you can make. Find out how JB Fund Services offers a 9% preferred return and up to a 13% waterfall. Call us today at 281-915-0906 or visit our website, jbfundservices.com. That's 281-915-0906. This investment is offered to accredited investors.
You found or inherited a great investment property. Problem is, you don't know how much it's worth, or more importantly, what to do to maximize your investment while mitigating risk. This is exactly why we started Next Gen Appraisals. Next Gen is a group of appraisers specializing in investment real estate. We understand that investors aren't just looking for a number of what their property is worth, but a comprehensive analysis of the market. Give Next Gen a call at 713-346-9911 or check us out online at nextgenappraisals.com.
Are you expecting to close accurately, on time, and with lots of communication on your home purchase? You've come to the right place. I'm Jennifer Hernandez, Senior Loan Officer with Legacy Mutual Mortgage. Our goal is to give our borrowers and referral partners an amazing experience during the loan process. My team believes in putting people and culture before results. Our company concentrates on building those teams who operate with structure, process, and recognition for going the extra mile for you. This way, we have the energy to make this your best home purchase ever. Give us a call today to find out the simple steps to get started. I'm Jennifer Hernandez, the Hernandez team at Legacy Mutual Mortgage. Jennifer.legacymutual.com or call 713-579-3611. Again, Jennifer.legacymutual.com. We can't wait to consult with you soon. NMLS 514497.
Equal Housing Opportunity Lender. NMLS 514497.
Ehlert Law helps wholesalers and real estate agents get deals closed. Seller has too many title defects, too many dead people hanging around, taxman wants a slice of your pie. We work with sellers and title companies to resolve those defects and get clear to close so you get paid. No one can guarantee success, but we'll do our best. Contact Ehlert Law at 346-231-1120. 346-231-1120. Paid for by Gerald Ehlert, Principal Offices in Houston, not board certified by the Texas Board of Legal Specialization.
If you have cracks in your walls, ceilings, or floors, you may have a foundation leveling problem. Do you have doors that stick or just won't open right? Maybe you have gaps in the bricks of your fireplace.
Yeah,
you
James,
need
back to your
Green Tree
situation.
Foundation Leveling,
a fast,
high-quality foundation leveling company based here in Houston. They know how hot it gets on the Gulf Coast.
If you spend 60
high
hours,
summer temperatures, heavy rainfall, and clay-rich soils are leading causes of foundation
hours, you
cracks.
Can find a deal.
If you have a cracked slab or a shifting foundation, call Green Tree Foundation Leveling at 832-329-1687. How old is your house? Many older homes in our area require foundation repair simply because of our climate and soil conditions.
It does have a little
Green
bit of a
Tree
green
Foundation
tinge,
Leveling provides free estimates within 24 hours. They repair concrete slab foundations and pier and beam homes too. The experts at Green Tree Foundation Leveling work fast and offer competitive rates, even a lifetime transferable warranty. Call 832-329-1687 to schedule an appointment with Green Tree Foundation Leveling.
Now we got 0 seconds. All right, hot mics in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, welcome back to the show. You're listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817. That's 713-785-1817. Or you can join us on the Book of Faces. Just go to Facebook.com, find our Right Path Real Estate page, And there's actually 2 Right Path Real Estate pages. There's one that is a private group that's just for our mastermind students, and then we have our public group as well. And so we broadcast on our public group. So if you like our page, our video will pop up. You can click on that. You can watch us live. Actually, there's about a 15-second delay. It's one of the things you'll learn about me is accuracy is important. And so, so there's about a 15-second delay. But people can interact with me. They can type in questions. So we don't have a lot of callers because it seems like so many people have gotten into going to the Facebook page and just typing in the comments there or questions there, and then we answer them live on the air. So if you're listening to us on AM 1110, thanks for listening. If you're listening to us in Dallas, we've got a few days left in the Dallas market, and we're actually what we don't like is that we don't have the same time slot, so it's kind of weird, having a rebroadcast every day, and so we don't get that kind of interaction. So we don't feel like it was as good for our brand, if you will. So we were talking about all the expenses, and we were talking about, so we've covered that when you're running it as a business, you've got to account for each of the different steps. And so one of the things that we see that a lot of rookie investors make as an issue is that they don't account for like their cost of their money when their money's in the deal. They don't account for their fact that they GC'd the job themselves. So they made a little bit of money because their money was in the deal. They made some money because they GC'd the deal. They're a licensed real estate agent, so they made a little bit of money when they, on the real estate commission when they bought the deal. They made a little bit of money on the real estate commission when they sold the deal. And they say, I made $40,000 as an investor. No, you didn't. You made, it was a $90,000 rehab. So you made some money as a general contractor, and you made some money as a real estate agent, and you made some money as a private money lender, and you made maybe like $8,000 as an investor, which is not, so when you think you're doing well, you can't really scale that business because where you run out and where people get stuck is they can do that business. It's a little bit like back to the cake analogy. If you're baking one cake, you could do exactly what you did to bake one cake in order to bake 2 cakes. You could do the same thing to bake maybe 4 or 5 cakes. You could do the same thing to maybe bake 20 cakes in a day. But when you get to about 20 cakes in a day, what you're going to realize is that all the inefficiencies in what you're doing is going to keep you from being competitive in the marketplace. So you're going to have to do things completely different to do 1,000 cakes than you will do 20 cakes. So here's what we find is that a lot of investors will get to about 10 or 15, maybe 20 deals in a year, and they get frustrated because they're not really where they want to be money-wise. They're certainly not where they want to be time-wise. And so they feel like they're kind of like this dog chasing their tail, and they don't know what to do to get past the 20 deals to have that breakthrough. They don't really understand what's missing. What's missing is it's the business part of it. It's that they weren't accounting for all of these things from the get-go. That's one of the things that allowed Jason and I to scale so quickly. 2 things, really. One is that we had a pro forma that we followed. We put a plan in place to grow quickly. The second thing is that we did start with a relatively modest amount of capital. I mean, it wasn't like we started with $2,000 each. I mean, Jason and I, we each put in $20,000 to start the business. So we started it with $40,000 in the checking account, which, again, it's not a huge amount. I mean, there's a franchise in town that costs $50,000 just to start the franchise. And I know that you can buy a junior franchise for $15,000 and all that kind of stuff. But ultimately, you're going to pay about $50,000 starting that franchise. So we started Houston House Buyers with $40,000. But here's the critical thing is neither one of us really needed to earn an income out of the business when it first got started. I had Fast Track that I was earning a source of income from, and Jason had savings. So we plowed. I mean, like we made, I think the numbers are in the first 7 deals that we did, we made about $425,000. And I know for a lot of real estate gurus and all that kind of stuff, what they would have done if they made $425,000, that's more money than they've ever seen in their entire life. So they would have gone out and bought, a brand new Lamborghini or a Viper or maybe a used Lamborghini or Ferrari or whatever their dream car is. They would have blown through it. They bought a big 4-wheel drive truck or a boat and been out on Lake Conroe. I mean, whatever, right? And then what we did is we took that money, we poured fuel on the fire of our business. We put it right back into marketing. And so that's how we did 7 houses from October to December of 2013. And then we did 67 houses in in 2014. So what I can tell you is what we did in terms of, it was just Jason and I did 7 houses. I mean, 7 houses in 3 months. Now, because we didn't put any of our own money in the deals from the get-go. We were using hard money or private money lenders from the very beginning. And by using other people's money, we weren't limited. There were no capital constraints. If we were, let's say we Jason and I had started and we had saved up $1 million total. Well, we would have only been able to do like 4 properties, and then until we got our capital back, we wouldn't be able to do anymore. So that's one of the mistakes I see new investors do, is that they, especially when they start with their own, they start with quite a bit of money. Their mindset is I'm going to use my own money. That way I don't have to raise money. I've got plenty of money to do it. And I'm like, no, don't do that. From the get-go, even if you have money and you're well capitalized, use other people's monies, because then that doesn't put the shackles on your business. And you never want to have a business with shackles on it, right? So you can't do 12 in a month typically. I mean, if you can, that's fantastic. If you can afford to do 12 in a month, but keep in mind that there's a lag time. Like, you may own some of these properties 5 or 6 months. You won't own all of them for 5 or 6 months, or maybe even 7 months. Like this one that we did, we bought it for $185. We're putting $120,000 into it, so we've got like $305, $310 with closing costs, let's say. So $310 plus the holding costs. I mean, so we're probably going to have $325, $330 in the deal over, and it's 4 months of rehab. Could be 3 months on the market, and then 60 days to close. So we could have this property in our inventory for easily 6 months. Well, if you're buying 10 a month, I mean, not that you're going to hold all 10 properties 6 months, because that's the reason why you wholesale some, those kind of deals. But, I mean, you can do the numbers. We've got $300,000 tied up in this property. I mean, imagine if we kept half of our properties that length of time. So you'd have 5 a month for 6 months. That's 30 properties times $300,000. That's about $9 million of money tied up in properties. So that's called leverage. And if you don't have, I mean, I don't know how many people start, not many people, what I'll tell you is not many people start a real estate house flipping business with in fact, I don't know anybody that's ever started with $9 million of their own money. So what you have to immediately get off your head is, you've got to use other people's money from the get-go. If you're not using other people's money, then your growth is going to be slowed. And then you have to recognize that for every property that you buy, there's several different exit strategies. And so because of the exit strategy, that's going to determine whether you wholesale it to a buy and hold investor, whether you keep it for a buy and hold, whether you flip it. We see a lot of rookie mistakes. New investors get started. They want to play small ball. They want to reduce their risk. And they think that the way that you reduce your risk is 2 things. One is you buy our lower price properties. Let's say you buy a property for $75,000 or $80,000. And you want to put, $30,000 into it, so that you're all in for $110,000, and you want to sell it for like $140,000. And so they because it's only a $30,000 budget on rehab, that's you're not going to be in it too long, not going to make any mistakes. You've got everything under control, and you're only risking a small amount of capital. But the problem is with that strategy is when you're risking that small amount of capital, 2 things come into play. One is if you're trying to flip in that market space, you're competing with buy and hold investors. And as a flip investor, you have to have the expense of the closing costs when you sell the property, which is about 10%. You're going to have a longer holding cost, which is about 10%. So you've got 20% of your money tied up just in holding cost and your closing costs when you sell the property, and you've got 10% built in for profit. There's 30% of your retail sales price. So if you're doing a $140,000 property, that's 14 3 times, right? So that's $42,000. So you've got $42,000 that you've got to take off the retail price and then minus your rehab. So you've got to take 140 minus 72 is going to be your offer price, like $68,000. That's the most that you can pay for the property. But a buy and hold guy can say, well, I don't need to spend $30,000 on rehab because I don't have to replace the countertops with granite. As a flipper, you have to do that. As a buy and hold guy, you don't. You can keep laminate countertops. As a flipper, I don't have that 10% selling cost because I'm not selling the property anytime soon. I don't have that holding cost. It's going to take me, 4 or 5 months, a month for rehab and 3 months on the market and 2 months, 6 months. I don't have a 6-month hold cost because I can rehab the property in 2 or 3 weeks, get a tenant in there and have it cash flowing before my first payment is due. So my holding costs are not that the same, and then my profit's not built in on the exit strategy, so I don't have that 10%. I'm making it off of cash flow, not so. As a buy and hold investor, I can pay 85 or 90 cents on the dollar. So I don't want to compete as a flipper in the same price range that buy and hold guys are playing in. So that increases your risk when you're doing that. So we feel real comfortable from about $175,000 and up. The other thing is that when you're only budgeting $30,000 for rehab, you run a higher risk that you've missed something. Because if you miss any of the big ticket items, foundation, roof, plumbing, HVAC, your $30,000 rehab budget is just going to be blown out of the water. Or if there's any kind of unknowns, if you find out that, there was termite damage that you didn't catch, or that the drain line in the plumbing was, is all collapsed underneath the house, whatever, those kind of situations, those are big oops. If you go to $120,000 rehab, you're planning on replacing all that stuff anyway. So there's no surprises when you have a bigger rehab. And there's more money to shift around. And, if you missed one thing, you can just take something that you're planning on doing out that's relatively minor anyway. So you're listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio. Our phone number is 713-785-1817. That's 713-785-1817. Give us a call.
Mike's off.
Yeah, DJ, leverage is the key.
Are small returns getting in the way of your retirement plans? Why settle for mediocre results? There's a better place to invest. The experts agree, single-family real estate is one of the best investments you can make. Find out how JB Fund Services offers a 9% preferred return and up to a 13% waterfall. Call us today at 281-915-0906 or visit our website, jbfundservices.com. That's 281-915-0906. This investment is offered to accredited investors.
Investor loans offering up to 100% financing are still available. You just have to know where to look. Look no further than Noble Mortgage. Noble Mortgage is a full-service mortgage company that's been helping investors since 2003. Noble Mortgage offers up to 100% financing to investors that covers purchase, repairs, and closing costs. In addition to private money, Noble Mortgage offers conventional loans, FHA, and even no-income documentation loans for both residential and commercial properties. Call and ask about our 5-point guarantee, which includes free pre-qualifications within 2 business days. Call 713-680-8100 or visit noblemoney.com. That's noblemoney.com. Our team has over 50 years experience in the mortgage industry. Call us today, 713-680-8100, or visit us on the web, noblemoney.com, noblemoney.com.
NMLS 292143, 8203 Willow Place Drive, Houston, Texas, 77070.
Are you looking for an investor-friendly general contractor for your investment property? Then call Fast Track Remodeling at 832-742-9992 or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Fast Track Remodeling specializes in turnkey remodeling of single-family investment properties. Whether it's a flip rehab or a rental rehab, we manage every aspect of a rehab from start to finish with a highly efficient, standardized process.
Over the last 6 years, Fast Track has completed over 700 projects, which has helped us to create our 3 keys to success. Use a detailed scope of work so that everything gets done, train and maintain quality crews so it gets done right, and complete the work in a proper order so it gets done fast.
No more managing it yourself, no more doing the work yourself. Fast Track Remodeling really does manage it all.
So give us a call today at 832-742-9992. Again, that's 832-742-9992, or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Ehlert Law helps wholesalers and real estate agents get deals closed. Seller has too many title defects, too many dead people hanging around, taxman wants a slice of your pie. We work with sellers and title companies to resolve those defects and get clear to close so you get paid. No one can guarantee success, but we'll do our best. Contact Ehlert Law at 346-231-1120. 346-231-1120. Paid for by Gerald Ehlert, Principal Offices in Houston, not board certified by the Texas Board of Legal Specialization.
Have you ever experienced the pain of trying to get MLS comps for your hot lead? If you've lost deals waiting for MLS comps, you can understand the frustration. How much would it help you if you no longer had to wait for a real estate agent to get you the info you need to close a deal? Propelio is a brokerage website.
It's about 10
that gives
seconds.
you instant 24/7
About a
access
10-second
to
delay.
high-equity
No,
lead
I
lists and
counted. It was
comps
like
with
15.
access to a network of the
I'll
top
go
real
with
estate
you.
agents.
Sorry.
Get an edge on everyone else. Get a free 7-day trial today by going to getmlscomps.com now. That's getmlscomps.com.
Oh, wow.
You found or inherited a
interesting.
great investment property. Problem is, you don't know how much it's worth, or more importantly, what to do to maximize your investment while mitigating risk. This is exactly why we started Next Gen Appraisals. Next Gen is a group of appraisers specializing in investment real estate. We understand that investors aren't just looking for a number of what their property is worth, but a comprehensive analysis of the market. Give Next Gen a call at 713-346-9911 or check us out online at nextgenappraisals.com.
All right, here we go.
Yep.
This is Business 1110.
All right. Hot
5.
mics in 5, 4, 3, stop it. 2, 1.
Hey, welcome back. Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817. So, if you want to learn how to do real estate as a business, if you want to learn how to buy, fix, and flip, if you want to learn how to wholesale, if you want to learn how to buy and hold, we teach a free event. And our next free event is going to be, July 6th. And if you want to learn more about that information, Jason will be giving our third quarter predictions. And although my crystal ball is in the shop, we've got Swami hats. We're going to be talking about what's coming up for the third quarter of the year, what real estate looks like in buy and hold, buy, fix, and flip, and wholesaling. And so it's a free event to attend. You need to go to our rightpathrealestate.com website. That's rightpathrealestate.com. Just go there. I'm sorry, it's kind of long. rightpathrealestate.com. You'll click on the events tab, and you can go there. It is absolutely free of charge to register. So, Tom, why do I want to register? That's a great question. I'm glad you asked. The reason why you want to register is that you'll get mighty thirsty at our event because we provide free food. And so you got to have a beverage in order to eat the food, right? You want something to wash it down with. And so you can have an adult beverage or you can have a standard beverage. But you can't get a beverage without a drink ticket. So you got to have a drink ticket if you want to drink. And you've got to register to get 2 free drink tickets. So everybody that registers gets 2 free drink tickets, except for Eddie. Eddie gets whatever he wants in terms of drink tickets, whether he registers or not. So I'm not sure if Eddie's listening. Eddie, you know who you are. So you've been listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio. We've been talking about how to run real estate as a business. And, you know, unfortunately, there's a lot of bad real estate education out there because a lot of people that are teaching real estate education, they're teaching people how to do real estate. They're not actually doing real estate. Jason and I have bought, fixed, and flipped over 400 houses right here in the Houston market
2 minutes.
in the last 4 years. And what works in Houston, I believe, works in every single market because we have students in Kansas City that are following our program, that are running it like a business, that are killing what they're doing. We have 3 of our students that are on track to have 7-figure years this year. So if you want to learn more about that, you ought to come to our event, July 6th. It's free to come to. You've got no excuses. But, Tom, I don't have time. When's your next one? Make the time. Build your better future. There's not a better place to put your money than in real estate. And now, I'm a big fan of buy and hold. I think that buy and hold is a great strategy to go if you're preserving wealth. It's not a great wealth creation strategy. It's a great wealth preservation strategy. So is private money lending. If you want to learn more about private money lending, we talk about that as well. If you want to learn how to create wealth, either through wholesaling, if you want to start with wholesaling, we can teach you how to do that. If you want to start with buy, fix, and flip, a lot of people say that wholesaling is easier than buy, fix, and flip. I believe that is absolutely not true. Wholesaling is nothing more than an exit strategy. The key is whether you're wholesaling or you're buy, fixing, and flipping, you're doing the exact same strategy in terms of getting the property under contract. The problem for some people is they feel like I don't have the money to buy, fix, and flip, so I'm going to start with wholesaling. But again, that's head trash. A lot of people need to fix their head trash. You got to decide where you're trying to get to. We'll help you try and get there. You've been listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio. Come to our event on July the 6th and then listen to our show tomorrow. I'll look forward to talking to you tomorrow. You've been listening. Hope you enjoyed the show. Hopefully you learned something today. And
20 seconds.
we can
go.
All right. We'll play a little bit more music today because I'm done. I got to go teach another class. All right. Have a great day.
Mike's
Thanks,
off.
Nikki.
All
Bye.
right. Have a good day.
See you. Bye.
Bye.
You've been listening to Right Path Real Estate.